Okay. It's Shelley Pumphrey here with Trilogy Holistic Mental Health, and I have one of our newest team members here, Julie Larkin. She is our energy healer and intuitive mentor. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, I thought it would be really good for us to have a little bit of a talk today about why we do energy healing and why I decided to bring you into a mental health practice. And I can say that personally, I have done, as a therapist, I've always been so interested in every type of healing and growth kind of activity I can find. And what I always found was that anytime that I worked with somebody who did energy healing, it really magnified and expanded my ability to heal and grow and just find a lot of peace in myself and with things, the traumas of life that we all experience. So I knew that it was, at least personally, I have a passion for that. And I've seen clients over the years who've done well when they've also added energy work to their therapy. So this brings us to having you here. So I would love to just hear a little bit about you and why you do energy healing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you just said because it's such a mirror to not only my own personal process. I've felt exactly the things that you have felt. I think that there's so much about having our mental capacity on board and understanding and having that logical breakthroughs, if you will, that are important. And then there's this additional piece of just being able to energetically move things through your body, if you will. We're more than just our brains, even though it doesn't always seem that way because these things they're running rampant.
Right.
But for me, I started more in like a coaching capacity where I was helping people make transitions in their lives. And so I did that for about 4 years before I added the energy work. And I've always played with energetics because I'm such a feeler. I just very quickly feel people, situations. I can't tell you, Shelley, what made me do it that day, but it was one of those like, bam, I need to do this after playing with energy since my 20s. And what was really fascinating was exactly what you mentioned. I just saw so quickly how much quicker, if you will, and with greater ease, people were able to move through transitions. Whatever flavor of transition that may be. A lot of them were emotional in nature because that's usually what stops us and blocks us up. The other thing that is really applicable here is along my journey before I even met you, I did have therapists reach out because I would see their clients who would then go back to their therapy sessions and that person would have had a breakthrough. Just this level of peace and ease that comes when you get to energetically clear something out that then allows the person to sort of move into that next level, if you will.
Yeah,
so when you and I decided to lock arms, it was just a big fat yes. Of course, it makes so much sense.
Yeah. And I know, like, here at Trilogy, we all believe that, talk therapy is important, but it is only one level of our healing. And if we don't deal with our bodies and the energy of our bodies, our energetic bodies, I guess you would call it, we're not only going to get so far with our healing.
Right.
Talk therapy is great if you're kind of in a moment of just going through a transition, you need some coaching, but we have to deal with all these deeper levels to really have true change and healing occur.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And I think talk therapy, especially depending on the therapist, but definitely everybody that I've met through Trilogy, I think is unbelievably beautiful and brilliant for not only that understanding that you need to have at some point to just make sense of something. It's so important for that mental body. Then the emotional body rides right next to that. And talk therapy can help with that. And physically, I think so often, there's just so many therapists that are bringing in some really cool creative modalities that help people with their physical body. And energy work really can touch upon all of those, but mainly the energy body that's sort of tied into and related to all of those. So it just really brings it all well-rounded. And like you said, it helps us to move through with more effectiveness.
Yeah.
And ease and peace. Thank the Lord.
Yes. So I have a couple of questions for you. One is, like, for somebody who's skeptical, who's never tried this before, can you just share like the basics of what a session actually looks like?
Totally. Yeah, great question. It is, there'll be a little bit of talking in the front end just so that we get that rapport going and get comfortable. And then it is, it's a massage table, but you will be fully clothed. So I always tell people to just wear comfortable clothing that you're comfortable lying down in for, 45 minutes. And the way that I do energy work is still light touch and or above body. But the way people describe it, especially, I know that it's each individual person's energy system knows what to do. So I'm really just facilitating that healing process that's happening within that person's energetic system. But what I've heard people describe too is that there's really nothing as relaxing as an energy session. You're not, I love acupuncture personally. I've used it for many reasons in my life, but there's no needles. There's nobody palpating your body. You are really just allowed to enter into this state of calm and release and receiving that feels, and I always use these words because this is what people have said, it's like meditation on steroids. Like you can drop in so quick. So the experience is really quite relaxing and rejuvenating. And some people also do say they feel very present when they leave. Like I call it coming home. Like all of your energy is back here and you just have so much more energy at your fingertips, so much more capacity. So that's a little bit about setting expectation. I'm sure I'm missing a few things, but
that's helpful.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I think, a lot of people think, oh, that's weird, or
sure,
how will I even know if something's happening? And I know I can attest to it. I've had an energy healing by Julie, and I've done it with other healers as well. And and at the very minimum, feeling that sense of peace and relaxation is something I've always left with. And there also, sometimes you feel some emotional releases, or you might feel things in your body come up, and it just kind of depends on what you're dealing with at that time. So I can vouch that this is a real thing, and Julie is very good at what she does. I just want to sing your praises, because I've
Thank you.
a couple years now and know how much people respect the work you do.
Yeah.
One other question that I had that I love that you've talked about before is this concept of energy hygiene. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
Yes, I honestly, it sounds crazy, but I swear it's just a big part of why I'm here. I think I'm supposed to really help all of us, myself included. I am always in this mix. I just can't seem to get over lately, and this has been years, this concept of how as children we were educated about all sorts of hygiene, certainly physical hygiene, brushing our teeth every day, morning and night for oral hygiene, not just for our teeth, but our heart health, washing our hands after we go to the bathroom so we don't spread germs and we limit illness, things of this nature. We are all of these things. We are these mental bodies, these physical bodies, these emotional bodies, if you will, and we are energy all in one, and we've never been taught this. And it is, at this point, I don't know, in life, I'll say, I feel like we're doing a disservice if we don't educate ourselves on that especially people who on the spectrum are high feelers, if you will, or empaths. I think our energetic system can get a little muddled or dirty, if you will. I'm just going to use the hygiene word, right? So I just feel really strongly about little tools that we can use to empower ourselves to sort of keep our energy field clean. So energetic hygiene can be a thing for us. And right now it's fun. I'm working with some kiddos, and it's this concept of every time you wash your hands, maybe you also just sort of clear out your field a little bit. and bring yourself back home again and really anchor into your own energy and knowing what's yours and kind of what's theirs, if you will. So thanks for asking. I'm really passionate about it. The world is maybe ready for it, maybe not, but feels right to me.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, for a sensitive person like myself,
Yeah.
and I know so many people are that way, whether they
Yeah.
realize it or not.
People with high anxiety, I think, really just are overly sensitive people.
Yeah, yeah, which isn't a bad thing. It's just
No, it's
important
a gift.
to learn that that's what it is, and kind of learning what is yours and what's somebody else's. You know,
Yeah.
example I often have is like, I can be in a really great mood and I walk through a grocery store and I come out in a really irritable mood or feeling really off, and I'm like, I was having
What?
okay, what happened?
Yeah.
Learn to recognize, like, I just picked up on a bunch of people's energies in that grocery store, and I need to, like you said, I need to do my energetic hygiene right now and clear myself of
Yeah.
that so I can get back to a good, happy, grounded place.
Yeah.
Great.
It is so true. And I'm glad you said that, because I think a lot of people still to this day, I mean, when I say highly sensitive, I think of it as a gift, but people still think like, oh, I don't want to be highly sensitive. I really do view it as, it's why, we'll use you as an example, it's why you're so phenomenal at what you do. So phenomenal at what you do. And with that constitution comes these little diligences, these little ways in which we wash our hands after we go to get rid of germs. Well, let's clear our space after we go through a store where you found yourself picking up some stuff. So I think it's pretty amazing where we're stepping into, and
Yeah.
yay for highly sensitive people.
Yay.
I know. Awesome.
Well, I'm so glad to do this, and I hope that we can do
Me
some more
too.
videos here to share a little bit more about this as we
Yeah.
move forward. But for anybody that's interested in learning more, you can schedule a healing session. They're around 90 minutes with Julie
Yep.
on the Trilogy website. You can also read more about her on our website at trilogytherapydenver.com. And if
Yep.
you're just wanting to like chat with her and do a little bit of a consultation before you come in for a session, or if you're just kind of on the fence, you can certainly schedule a phone call with her to chat about it. I'm happy to talk to people about it as well.
Yeah.
So thanks, Julie.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. This was fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.